Hi folks, today is November 1st and we have about half a minute to talk about the weather, which is beautiful autumn fall day outside, relatively warm, sunshine, great day to be outside, and yet we will be here for only 5 minutes today to discuss another topic about technology and education. 2 o'clock exactly, so our 5 minute start. Today we will be talking about it will be a little bit more nebulous topic. It will be about open source and academia. So let's start with the big news of 2 days ago. We posted it on Instagram or on social media. There it is, 2 days ago. We asked all of you to give us your feedback, your thoughts about that acquisition of Linux of Red Hat by IBM. What does it mean for Linux, for the open source idea? What's the change? What would be the long-term consequences? I don't know the answers. I just collected as much information as I could, and I would love to hear what people think, what people share, what people will say about the future of open source, particularly about Linux, and how this also will impact academia. And the reason that I'm so focused with academia is because, let me see where it is. In 2014, there is a post in our blog that addresses open source. Academia is kind of playing with this thought, but not very actively, understanding that there is a lot of money going on into Windows. For example, the campus that I am at is completely committed to Windows, which is a lot of money. And open source is an alternative, even if we don't consider it open source for the computer labs which are outside and which are less and less important, because we're heading toward mobile devices and practically using students' devices. Even if you don't pay attention to this, a lot of other services can be based on open source and money can be saved this way. So the question is, why don't we do it? Why don't we pay attention to open source in academia as we are supposed to do? Then there is another blog post on April this year, which reflected a conversation about issues with Windows and how do we switch from one operating system to another. There are a lot of urban myths going on about switching from Apple to Microsoft OS and vice versa, that the one is harder than the other. So I'm really interested, what is your opinion? I mean, if you want to switch from one operating to another, why does it have to be from Microsoft to Apple? Why not from Microsoft to Linux? And vice versa, if we want to switch from Apple to Windows, why do we not consider Linux? Now with mobile devices, that question is reinforced with the idea, why do we stick to iPhone and don't want to go Android, considering that Android is open source? The question is not that much confined toward the issue of operating system. It's for me, it's much more broader issue of our way of thinking. How do we conceptualize a switch from one operating system to another? It's not about the operating system, it's about the utilization of open source. What does prevent us to think switching to open source, being that an operating system or something else? So in that sense, in the summer of 2018, we offered a Python workshop for the community, not only for the campus community, but for the greater St. Cloud community. And that also is tangential to the conversation that we have. How do we choose programming languages? Do we pay for software packages, or do we consider open source software packages for whatever task we want to perform in academia? So this is the topic for today, and the questions that I would love to hear your answers are how do you approach open source, specifically for academia? Thank you, and I will see you very soon. Looking forward to your conversation.